Hello, welcome back to Better Sushi Live Coding. In this episode, we're gonna take a look at the other nodes that's in SphereChalk add-on that's dealing with UV. It's called the sample UV color. Even though it's really simple, you can do a lot with this. And if you think a lot of like creative ideas, using sample UV. There's a lot. There are heaps. So this is one example. You can see this is a 2D textures, right? It can be anything. It can be a photograph. And that thing right there is sampling the color at one point. I think it's looking at the pixel and then it's changing the color of Suzanne based on that. So let's see how this is set up from scratch. Should be pretty interesting. I'm gonna switch to cycles. I'm gonna save it as sample UV color. And we're gonna have a plane. Give it a UV, so it's really basics, and we can do a little bit of painting. So texture paint, missing material. Okay, add a diffuse color. Okay, so now, okay, let's put it like that. Image editor. So we have this. You can do some fancy stuff with this. By default is 1024 by 1024. Let's keep it simple, 100 by 100 pixels. And then let's switch this to paint mode, 5 or 6 pixel. Okay. And then enable tiling if you like. So you can do fancy stuff like this. All right. Oh, actually the background shouldn't be that dark color, but should be okay. So just some kind of abstract drawing. You can turn on repeat, so that's definitely something you can tile. All right, let's save this really quick. Image save as, and okay, we are ready. Back to object mode, material. So material should be a proper cycle material. So give it a nodes, and oh, it's already there. All right, maybe this guy can be just maybe emission. So color goes in there, emissions, material. All right, now we just need Suzanne. So this Suzanne will change its color based on the sampling. Okay, attributes. So we're gonna be using SphereChalk color, SV_col, based on the vertex color. Currently Suzanne doesn't have anything, but its vertex color will change based on SphereChalk sampled color. Okay, now switch on SphereChalk add-on. Like that. Let's see how this works. Sample UV color. What's the source? Is this guy right here, the plane. And what's the image? That's the image. Which point you want to sample it from? Let's use a basic vector in. So it's just a vector, 3 value. We're gonna do it between 0 and 1 in X and Y. The output's color goes into Suzanne. It's really that easy. And so see, the color will change based on the color we pipe it in. Okay, so let's save this. I save it many times. Sometimes it crashes, but no, in this case it seems to be okay. So now you can see, if we change this value, it's gonna change the color based on this texture. To be really clear, normally I like to use viewer draw, plug in vector color into the matrix, and you can see the matrix over there. Now it's really clear what's going on. So it's really bright, the color, but it's okay. Let's use the noise, vector noise. Let's try this. And then move this guy using frame. Okay, that's really fast. You just need a math, plug into this guy, reduce the speed, something like that. It's quite decent. So you can see the matrix kind of moving around. Maybe it's also a good idea to rewire and zero out the Z. So now you can see the frame goes into this multiplier, goes into factor in will generate noise. So it's kind of like a wiggle, animation nodes wiggle. It's doing the same thing. Okay, so Suzanne, and we can use okay, so that's pretty much it. To be really clear with this, let's go back to our texture painting. And maybe do a little bit of painting here. So let's say we have dark color. So we're gonna make something like that. You will see later that with this kind of sampling, we can actually create fancy stuff like because it's sampling a color at the moment, like for every point. You can perhaps create, you can even create music, I think, with this, because it's when it's dark, for example, it's gonna go quiet, and then different colors it's gonna make different sound, and then you have like a procedural sound generator, and you can use photograph. So it's can be pretty interesting. So yeah, like I said, sometimes you can do a lot with this guy. And maybe like with Suzanne, let's say if the color is really bright, Suzanne can go up, and if it's dark, go down, and then Suzanne will do that kind of motions. It can be pretty interesting. So there you go. That's a quick look at Spreadshop sample UV color. All right. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.